is up? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Back with some more Resident Evil 4 Remake gameplay for you. And, well, how fast things change, indeed. It just seems like not even a week ago I was making a video talking about how Resident Evil 9 might be indefinitely internally delayed. But now, with new information coming from the same person who said that, maybe not. Maybe it might be coming sooner than you think. So, without further ado, let's get into this video. But as I always like to say, take these with a grain of salt. But nonetheless, it's our favorite Resident Evil leaker, or whatever you want to call him, but information source and Capcom, who knows, but Dusk Golem himself, who last week came out with some information that maybe RE9 might be possibly internally delayed. Not that he said he confirmed it, by the way, but just what he was possibly hearing it might possibly be. Well, he's got some more news, and if you were worried it might be delayed and take a while, well, maybe fear not, because he's got some new information, which is as the follows. But as I always like to say, take it with a grain of salt. The possible delay I have heard murmurs about can be pushed aside. Resident Evil 9 should be revealed pretty soon and released next year. If what I've heard previously holds true, should be in January. It's had about 7 years in development. January 2025, I haven't heard now, just been a date I've heard previously. They probably are still aiming for it, but you never know in game development. I won't leak rumor any other details of the game, just let Capcom do their thing and let them surprise people. Just to explain something, RE9 started early development in 2018 as a possible RE8. Village has started development as RE8, then became a spin-off title, then ultimately became Resident Evil 8 again. This game became RE9 ultimately, and yes, RE8 and RE9 were in development at the same time. Resident Evil games are usually greenlit in batches and planned for the next few years to keep the series near annual. As I've said a few times before, this was this funny period in 2018 that RE2 Remake, RE3 Remake, RE4 Remake, RE8, and RE9 were all in development at the same time. There's something kind of similar that happened recently as another batch of RE games were greenlit in early 2023. RE9 has the biggest budget and longest development time of any Resident Evil game to date, and I've described previously as ambitious. None of this last part is new. It's stuff I've been reiterating for years, and the end of his quote. Now, first things first, yes, I do find it kind of ironic and weird that literally like a week ago we were talking about it possibly being delayed, and now all of a sudden it might be coming out sooner than you think. So I get that skepticism. I definitely do understand it. However, I don't necessarily think the man is making up or telling non-true information either. I do believe there's a lot of validity to it as well. As I think the craziest part about this information is just how many Resident Evil games have been in development at basically the same time, which is basically just ridiculous how they've been annually releasing these games seemingly every single year possibly, and having at most a year gap. I mean, we haven't even had really a 2-year gap in a long time for any of the major Resident Evil games, so that's absolutely ridiculous. But do I think it's going to be January 2025? The only thing that may have that validity is just from the fact that it has been in development for a long time, and yet we haven't seen anything of it. So they could be doing something. Because to be fair, let's just be honest, Resident Evil 4 Remake was revealed around the middle of the year back in 2022. I'd say about like 7-8 months later it was released, some time period. So about like 3/4 of a year later. So they could reveal something like right now, which he said they would be revealing it sooner, sometime this year, which would fall in line. I would definitely not be surprised by that. Now, when that might be, who knows? It could be at a lot of things, during the summertime, maybe at the end of the year. I'll probably say more likely probably the middle of the year to summer, but who knows? I'm just speculating. But yeah, I think the thing that I'm just more curious about is what all the other greenlit games are. Like, obviously, I'm excited for Resident Evil 9. I want to see what they do for the future, but greenlit multiple Resident Evil games. I mean, we obviously assume the remakes, but could there be other titles as well? And that would definitely be interesting. But it just makes me feel like they just got this whole process down to a T now. Like, they got all these games. I mean, we have so many situations with other franchises struggling just to get one game out, and this franchise is just basically opening up a all-you-can-eat bake sale, and they're just basically sending them out, and it's wild how they can keep it. I just, it's amazing to be able to keeping up this process and making so many games, combination of new ones and remakes, and keep it going yearly this long. I don't know if this can be the case forever, but they got it going so far. So as long as they release good, solid games, I definitely see it's last for a while. I'm just amazed it's lasted this long, because eventually you feel like that it's got to run up and dry eventually. But let's stick with Resident Evil 9. So it being revealed 2024, that to me is not a big surprise. I know a lot of us were thinking, maybe it might have been eternally delayed. I thought maybe possibly if they were going to go the really ambitious route of it being possibly open world, or that could be a bunch of BS. We don't know. We haven't seen anything about it. It's just rumors we've heard. It being released in 2025, there's nothing suspicious about that. I want to say it's probably. I mean, it could be January. I mean, I'd be a little surprised, but I'm going to say more, I guess, like the March, April, if we have to go by what this person's telling us. That would be the most keen. But what I'm really curious about is, when they release the Resident Evil titles, they're not releasing multiple titles in 1 year. So I'm wondering, with these greenlit titles being greenlit in 2023, is this more because of fans, and what they want, or things they've wanted to do for a while? Because, as I said before, when are they going to get released? Are they just going to get released like next year and the next year? There's a lot of curiosity there, because I know a lot of people have been asking for Code Veronica remake, Resident Evil 5 remake, possibly continuation of Revelation storyline, or maybe something completely different we haven't even thought of. I had someone say that it wanted a Dead Aim remake, which, hey, hey, make it good, I'm all for it. But it's an interesting time to be a Resident Evil fan, because it's just, what other franchise has these type of discussions? Like, usually we're just asking for other franchises, when's the next one going to come out? Are they going to continue it? Are they going to get the next one? In Resident Evil, it's different. It's basically, well, which one is going to come out? Are they going to do a brand new title? Is it going to be a spin-off title, or are they going to remake it? I mean, you got so many options, and there's no other franchise that has those situations with that. So it's kind of unfathomable sometimes. But yeah, overall, as I like to say, we take these things with a grain of salt until we get an official confirmation. I would like it to be true, just so we can get a reveal, because I think that's the big thing here with Resident Evil 9. I think a lot of us would do so well just have like a trailer or something just to show off something, so we can get at least a sense of where it's going to go. We kind of try to predict where it's going to go, especially with the whole Rogue BSAA storyline and who's going to be the main characters starring. I assume Chris got to be there. I hope Jill is there. It makes the most sense, but who knows what they're going to do. We just want to see it in action. That's our big thing. But nonetheless, as I always like to say, that is my opinion on things. I want to hear your guys' opinion. Are you like me a little bit? It's like, man, it's kind of funny how we flip-flop so quickly after all that. Or are you like me, like, hey, it's new information, and we'll see how it goes. Does this make you more excited if the possibility of it is true? Do you like that even more titles have been greenlit as of last year? Let me know down in the comment section down below. But thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and hopefully I can see you guys back on the next one. Thanks, and I'll see you all later. Peace.